10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Silver Site. My name is RJ.
I'm Desiree.
Gerald G. Saw that.
I'm Dr. J.
I'm Jay Harrison.
I'm AJ.
And welcome to the Silver Site. Today we're going to be talking about episodes 3 and 4 of season 4 of From. We were supposed to come back last week, but I had an allergic reaction. My lip and my face were swollen, so we had to push back a week. But fear not, we're here to break down everything that happened in 3 and 4. And I have to say, y'all, after kind of contemplating, I feel like I might be having a change of heart about Sarah going in the box.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but we're gonna get into it. So before we get into why I may or may not have had a change of heart about my girl Sarah Bodies, let me get your overall thoughts on season 4, episodes 3 and 4. For me, 3 was a little slow, and I can see why people uneventful, and I can see why people didn't like the episode. But I think when you pair it with 4, it's fair. I feel like this could have been one long episode. They could have really crammed this into one episode, honestly. We got a lot of dialogue and things that we already knew. So 3 was kind of 4 kind of saved 3 because we're talking about it in one swoop.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. 3 was the least interesting out of both of them, but yeah, that definitely could have been combined in some way.
Yeah,
that's all I really have to say.
3 was pretty. I mean, it's just an episode. 4 had a little bit more meat on his bones.
Yeah.
It had me thinking, but I stopped overthinking. I just said, okay, I'm gonna just watch. But 4 definitely had a little bit more to say.
Fair.
Yeah, I agree. I like rewatched them like right before we started just to make sure I didn't forget anything. And 3 didn't have much, but 4 I feel like it's building up. So
yeah. I hate to keep saying filler, but some of these episodes feel like fillers, and I don't want to be that person. But 3 definitely felt like some parts could have been thrown into 4 and wrapped in 1. But 4, like RJ said, did save it. So I like 4 better than 3.
Yeah, 3 was a filler episode. 4 was a filler episode until the end for me. It had a little meat on it, but yeah, it wasn't a lot for me. It still was slow. I was still bored of episode 4, like I was in 3. At the ending, it got good, but then it turned off. I'm like, man, you're gonna do me like this?
That's how I felt.
Hey, AJ, you were hard to please. I thought I was bad.
Hey, Timo.
That's hilarious.
They did have a lot of exposition in 4, but I think the idea was setting up more stuff. Here's my only concern. Of course, hear me saying I don't want to overthink it, but I'm afraid they're trying to, as they tie up ends, they're gonna create some more, and I don't want to see that, and that's what I'm getting nervous about. It's like, come on, man, please don't do this. Don't do it.
Yeah, please get to the point. Just land the plane at some point, especially towards the end of the season. We don't want to keep waiting for things to be wrapped up and then have to deal with another dilemma later on.
There's more mysteries. We don't need more mysteries. We need to start solving some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of we haven't gotten a lot of answers, I think. But I think it has a lot to do with the writing. I don't know if it's fleshed out enough for me personally, but I'll just continue to watch and see where it lands.
I feel like they're all going to die.
You said who's going to die?
They're going to lose. They're going to lose. You know how people have a theory about the boys where Homeland is going to win in the end? I feel like the monsters are going to win. I don't see them get out of this.
Eesh.
I think so.
I don't see that. Like, I kind of feel like at least one person is going to get out, and that's going to be the new storyteller. I feel like one person is going to live. I don't know.
One? That's crazy.
Just one.
Just one.
It's going to be easy.
I mean, if we look at, like, Victor was the only one who lived from his error. It was just one. So I feel like it's going to end with one person living. I don't know who it's going to be because, you know, we have a whole season 5 ahead of us, right? But
So are we gonna see a whole nother cycle start?
Hopefully not.
The last episode of season 5, yup. Everybody's going to die.
That would be terrible.
Man, I'm just so mad that happened.
Ethan got it. Ethan going to be the sole survivor, I'm telling you.
no,
Man,
they're not going to do it like that. I feel like the last episode of season 5 is going to be Tabitha waking up in that hospital bed again.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that.
That's going to make me mad.
Let's say Fatima makes it out. Let's go ahead. You know what I'm
Oh my God.
No, she's not going to. Now, I will say, though.
She should have been gone.
Yeah, from a survival aspect, she don't seem like she would be the one to make it. I feel like, you know what it is? The person who knew the least is going to make it. It's going to be Ellis.
No, please.
It's
No.
going to be Ellis.
Oh,
I
I'm
could
so
see that though. I could see Ellis making
everybody's
it,
going to
but
die. He's going to come out the bathroom washing his hands like, oh shit, what
I
happened?
cannot.
And like,
Or
that's
Randall.
gonna be the end.
I support Randall.
Fatima and her claim and her golem, yup.
Well, there was a little bit of teasing with you know, just because I know how it goes with writing sometimes with Donna. I was like, all right now, you know, please, because if she goes, I go.
Because when Donna said to
foreshadowing, right? Yeah.
Yo, she's gonna die.
There is
She's gonna
foreshadow.
die.
Yeah, every time they do that, I'm like,
that's the thing with writing. When you catch on those cues, when someone says like, you know, hey, I'll do anything, it's making it seem like it's gonna happen.
That's when I said I was wrong on my pick.
I
was like, dang it, I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
Like
He's not gonna be
something could
Ellis.
happen to Donna. I feel like something could happen to Donna because look at her. Look how she's like. From season 1 to now, she's not the same Donna, right? Like her energy's different. We don't see the lady eat ever. She don't no more. We don't be seeing her eat ever.
She's running the whole club.
No more. She's tired. She don't change her clothes like you. But then again, it's only really been like 3 weeks in Fromville since season 1. It's been a month in Fromville from season 1. So Donna can't go like that. I don't think Donna will go like that.
It feels like a decade for me.
Donna ended up in a pool with Dale.
Donna, she's about to get she's gone, definitely.
Did y'all see Sophia just standing there staring where Dale
oh yeah.
That's
Sophia
exactly.
is so messy. She is so messy. The way that she said that to Julie and then Julie got mad.
Because why would you say that? Like, what was the point behind that? She is. She really is. I especially I know she is because when they told the story of Abraham, of God testing Abraham to kill his son, and he didn't want him to actually kill his son, he just wanted to see if he would do it. She didn't want that water situation with Sarah bodies. That didn't mean nothing. She just wanted Sarah to do it.
Like, would you
do it?
But she pushed her. Sarah wasn't gonna do it until Sophia hurt her knee, her right knee. Then she's like, "Oh shit, I have to do it now because look, they're already taking people out left and right."
So I thought she broke her arm.
Yeah, her arm. Yeah, it was her arm.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Shayna.
She's like her arm.
She's on thin ice, so I mean, you know, she's Sarah's at a point where she's gonna, you know, eventually break or something might happen to her. But,
I think Sophia's gonna make Sarah kill somebody again. I feel
I can see that.
I can see that.
Yeah, because she's in her head at this point. First, she's living with her. Kenny was like, "You want to live with a killer?" She's like, "Yeah."
It was strategy. It was also pure strategy. I knew it would be there.
I know I'll be getting on Kenny. That's who. When he said that kind of like clicked in my brain. I was like, "Oh shoot, she is responsible for his dad being gone." Like I know y'all said it last week, but until Kenny said it again, I was like, "Oh, that is right."
Yeah.
The women in the show a lot of grace, which is so crazy to me. Sarah, Fatima, y'all give them a lot of grace for no reason. Like Fatima does absolutely nothing in the show. She don't do nothing. She don't go hunt.
One thing about me with Sarah was why I liked her with Elgin. That situation with her and Elgin, she got things like moving.
Oh yeah, she's
like she got things moving. Okay. She did what nobody else was gonna do. Everybody was scared. You know what I'm saying? She did what nobody else wasn't gonna do. To get some information out of them.
Yes,
Sarah, get it done, Myers. That's what I'm saying. We need her. We need her.
She ain't gonna be no good soon.
She gonna be in that box, honestly.
Might be. You know, especially showing up at the diner. She's like, "Oh, you're here. Like, oh, okay, this is different.
And so it begins.
Yeah.
I think that she's definitely going to drive Sarah back down the path of insanity. Because if you look at Sarah's season 1, like we all thought she was a nut job, and now she's slowly getting her sanity back because they left her alone. For some odd reason, since she did what she did, they left her alone, and it was like messing with Elgin and Boyd seeing things. But I feel like they gave Sarah just enough of a break for her to get herself together, and then they're going to slowly bring her back down to where she was when she was insane.
Yeah, I do wonder if they'll make the Man in Yellow, or I'm sorry, I do wonder if the Man in Yellow will make Sarah finish the job with Ethan. I just out of curiosity.
With the lake?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's gonna drown that boy in the lake of tears.
I
Maybe.
don't think to me, I don't know. I'm hoping it is Jim. But I don't
Ain't
know.
no damn Jim.
I'm hoping.
Just like that wasn't Father Carter, that wasn't the bartender. Like that's what I wrote down too. So let me ask y'all this: are the ghosts good or bad? Because it seemed like the bartender and Father Carter were kind of trying to really help him out, but it seemed is that really Ghost Jim? Is he really trying to help them get out of there? Finally, and how do you know about the Lake of Tears all of a sudden now that you're dead? Do you got information that we don't got?
Right, because Jim knew nothing.
No, he was
wrong about everything.
Yeah,
I think they're leading them to situations that are inevitable, but at least they might get an answer out of it, and they can maybe warn somebody about something. But even though like they're in that situation, it's still going to be unpredictable because of just the circumstances they're in. Something might happen to somebody eventually, even though they will get an answer, but.
Maybe Jim's being used. I don't know. I don't see Jim being knowledgeable about all these things all of a sudden.
Out of nowhere.
I don't know.
I don't see that either.
Just know I said it first.
Why did he
that was the real Jim?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, did you notice?
Away when
did you guys notice the scar on Jim that he had? It was the same scar that was on Sophie's dad.
Yeah, Sophie's
It was in the same spot. And she also pulled the Man in Yellow also pulled a tooth out. And Smiley, when they ran his pockets after they killed him, he had a tooth as well.
Yeah. Which makes me think he's being used. I don't know what the whole
pockets
thing is.
Randy's pockets is crazy.
Wow.
They killed that man and took his shoes.
I was gonna say, so one thing I found kind of interesting was with Boyd's ring, not just like how he like it disappeared and came back or whatever, but also like the symbol inside of it because
the infinity symbol, right?
Yeah, and when what's her face was gonna sleepwalk again with because Randall was there.
Julie.
Yeah, Julie. Thank you. Yeah, she had like I think it was sort of similar to that same symbol. But it's just that it wasn't like fully like a circle because on Boyd's ring it was like a loop.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And on the paper that Julie had, like it looked kind of like that loop, but it wasn't complete. So I'm kind of wondering like what they're
it was sort of like that. Yeah.
I have to admit that part is probably the least interesting to me. I don't know. They already have so much other things going on. I don't want any other mysteries and.
Agreed.
Okay. So here's the thing. So in season 1, episode 1, and it's kind of weird. Like I kind of knew that Ethan's stories meant more than because they focused on it a little bit too much for it to not matter. And so in this episode, when they were talking about bookmarks, right? What if the bookmarks are? And I saw this online, and I was like, okay, that's kind of maybe. What if the bookmarks are actual items from whatever time? Like how he put Acosta in the basement to kind of go through the things. What if she's going to figure out that help Julie with the story walking and that the items are going to be the key to story walking? Because maybe that's why she was able to travel because she had Boyd's wedding ring, maybe. Oh, God, I'm turning into Jade.
Well, you're gonna be drinking just like Jade.
I'm about to be drunk.
I mean, Homeboy was in that lake just laying there. He was done.
Yeah.
Dirty ass lake. What's that about, Angie?
I think though, yeah, they're gonna find the Lake of Tears eventually. I feel like
I think
they
it's
set out.
I don't
Did they?
feel
The lake they found was the dead body of Lakes. So.
At the end,
Oh yeah.
I want to say.
Yeah.
It's cool. He's like, hell no.
I don't
That's what
understand.
Jade
I don't understand why he ate those shrooms because it wasn't no side effects. He was still like it was no,
because he tried to do it because of Miranda though. Because remember how what's it called? What's his name? His name is like slipping my mind. But no, Victor.
Yeah.
Victor,
Yeah. How Victor's dad said Miranda was like they went on a bad trip before all this started. So he was trying to like recreate that environment.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I feel like for Jade it works because he came in on drugs, if you remember.
yeah, what's that? Strong golf.
Yeah,
was like,
he thought it was a big old escape room when he first got there. He's like, all this for me? Like, not really.
But I can see if it moved the needle, but it didn't move anything. He was just, is that?
But you know what? At least he's
Kenny.
actually trying. Jade, I got to give it to him. He's the one that's actually really been trying throughout this whole thing.
I agree.
You know, at first he was complaining, but then now that actually Jim took up that mantle. Jade is about solution. Yeah. He's got a whole he needs to be a part of Law and Order at this point.
I really.
He's good at investigating.
If Jay's delivery was a little bit better, if he wasn't constantly yelling at everybody, it's sort of like old man yells at cloud. Like if
He's
you
from
would
New
just,
York.
right? If he would just like calm down, like take it down like maybe 3 notches, I feel like people would listen to him more. But he's so busy yelling at everybody, calling everybody stupid all the time that
They
nobody
are.
can listen
I'm
to him. They are. They are. They are.
That's what I'm saying.
Stronger
Like,
than
them wasn't even shrooms. Them just was mushrooms.
The man is starting to look like Jesus. Give him a break.
He's going through.
Donna was so tired. Donna was like, "Boy, I swear to God, if you bring up those fucking shrooms again, I'm going crazy because stop it."
Yeah.
Stop it.
No, the part when he called Boyd in the room to see if he was actually seeing Kenny in front of him. That was hilarious.
Yeah. I don't know. Like for me, I'm super sensitive to like anything, and so if us getting out is dependent upon me taking shrooms, y'all might as well get comfortable. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
RJ, y'all will not get out. If I know RJ like I think I do, y'all gonna be there for life. Y'all are not getting out.
Pick a room.
And if there's one opportunity to get out, it's gonna be RJ.
I'm telling you.
Keep an eye on him.
Right? Is anyone
wondering trees or something?
I'm telling you.
Is anyone wondering when they're going to run out of food and water? That's always been in the back of my mind.
Well, that's why they went back to the settlement, because remember they found cabbage and vegetables and stuff, so they go up there every so often to collect food. But like, what are they doing for meat?
That's what I'm saying. You're just operating without.
Yeah, they killed all the goats last season.
Yeah, they just eating vegetables. They vegan now.
Yeah,
right?
They vegan.
They're vegan now.
It's not like they hunting birds or.
Well, that explains why Jade has gone mad. Look, if I went vegan without actually wanting to, I'd be going mad too.
Where's the whole vitamin deficiency going on? They don't got no supplements or nothing in there.
Oh, I'd be going crazy.
Man, at least hunt for some fish or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still trying to see when Julie is going to understand that she can't save her father. You know, it's pointless of story walking because the man in yellow, if y'all remember, he said you can't change what already happened. So she trying to change the past, but you can't change it unless they do some magical, and she can. I'm not too for sure how she can save her father.
That's a good point, though.
No, I mean, and then every time she story walks, she always get killed. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This time, the man in yellow was at her neck.
Yeah, because she's like, hey, I'm not gonna let him. She cut her hair. She's like, I'm not gonna let him try to grab my hair again.
At the bob, and I'm like, he still can pull it. It's still long. What are you doing?
I was about to say they can still get it.
Oh, I'm like, it's not like you got the Halle Berry. You still got it. Cool. I don't know what the plan was there. You got to buzz it off.
Yeah, you gotta buzz the whole thing off because I mean,
Yeah, she got the Edna special. But I think, I'm just saying, I think we're gonna see her go back to what happened to Jim. That I think that's leading up to that.
Yeah.
I think so.
This whole
Yeah.
story.
I think it's interesting because I feel like where season 3 left off, it was at the end of her story walking, like when she saw Jim, right?
Yeah.
But where we just saw her in her story walking, it's kind of like at the beginning of the story because she went back too far. She went back to the day Victor people died. So she went back way too far.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how she determines I'm interested to see how she determines like how far she's going to go each time she actually story walks. Because
But that
there's
goes
really,
back to I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, there's really no indication. I mean, she does talk about the bookmark. She does talk about that and trying to like mark the page to keep going from there. But From has not told us at this point, like any indication of when she hops back, how she even knows where she's going to land. They haven't, I mean, they haven't given us no indication of that. So I wonder how they'll play that in.
I think she was trying to convey that when she was like, I'll mark this symbol, and if something happens, we'll know because it'll show up. And then when she popped in and saw dude, getting his munch on, she was like, what is happening right now?
Oh, no.
Yeah, so the dude was like, all right, I need to get her on up because I don't know what's happening. And then she pulled that paper out and realized nothing was on it. It's like kind of back to the drawing board. So
yeah,
I think she's looking at the bookmark the wrong way, and this is just a theory.
but I think she was trying to make I don't know if that's one of the things that was for the audience more than it was for the actual story, because I mean she's saying the things out loud, and so for me I was like logically okay, that makes sense what she's trying to do. However, now she's in a spot where she didn't really complete the assignment.
But
when I say, I'm sorry. I was going to say, when I say look at it wrong, she's expecting to go 30 years ago to come back and have the writing on the paper in her current hand where she currently is. My theory on it is she did leave a bookmark, but when she comes back in present day, she's not in the same location that she was when she left the story. So the bookmark is going to be at the last place she was in the past where she left. It's not going to be at the ruins because that's present day, right? The bookmark is, and I feel like, From is magical, right? I wouldn't be surprised if the marking appears on the paper when she walks in that area where she saw the man in yellow, right? I would not be surprised about that.
Yeah, I don't think Tabitha is gonna find a way home no more. I mean, she's at this point she's useless. You can throw her into the water of Lake Tears. She's pointless. She found a way last time, but I think Ethan and Jade is going to find a way. One thing about it is Julie. That is Ethan's story. Ethan made all this up and it became real. So I think Julie is going to go talk to her brother to see how those bookmarks really work, because he's the only one who knows these stories.
Really, yeah.
Because he made them up. These are his stories he made up.
I don't know if you remember the show Chalk Zone, where you could just draw Chalk Zone, where Ethan just draws a door and everybody just walks through the door.
Man, and then the boy in white also indicated a much older version of him too, by the way, but he indicated that the trees are different. I think she was trying to find her way back the same way that she did before. There was he was saying that the trees are different now. It works differently, and so
Victor been saying that though. Like
Victor was saying that, but at least we got confirmation from that boy.
Yeah, because Victor's now trying to see if there's a shift in those trees again, because he's been there for so long. So he's getting to a point where it's like, okay, this is happening again, or this is happening in a whole different way. So,
I feel like enough don't listen to Victor. Yeah, because Victor clocks everything, right? Like he's been talking about the tree. What does he? Well, he clock enough. He do what he can. What he got.
I feel like he may be a somewhat unreliable narrative.
I was just about to say that. In some unreliable narrative.
Well, he got PTSD.
Which makes him interesting.
Yeah,
I mean,
the PTSD also could make him unreliable. Even the way the man counts steps, like I'm thinking, okay, he really know he was doing foot by foot, measuring the tree. This man taking unregulated steps. Like,
I mean, nobody gave the man a measuring
than the other.
Nobody gave the man a measuring tape.
Oh gosh, Dr. J going to the defense.
I'm
Started out talking about
I'm
he clocked his
not.
stuff.
Jay
Now
on
she like,
defense.
well, but I mean, you got to remember okay. Which is
I'm
it?
not going into the fact. I'm just saying, like, like he got PTSD. He's clearly on this autism spectrum, and he has. And I honestly think he has anxiety disorder as well, right?
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
So with all of that going on,
okay,
you quote him as an unreliable storyteller, but who's better than him? He's the only one with the knowledge.
Ethan wrote the book of Ethan.
I mean,
like, listen, Ethan worried about if birds are dead or alive and what species they are right now. We can't focus on Ethan right now. Okay?
Ethan is going through grief too, so he may be a little.
He is. Ethan
wrong.
saw that bird and was like, "No, this one different from the others." I'm like, Ethan, let's move on.
I do somewhat agree with Jay though, because like Victor, he's been through, he's been there the longest. I think it's just because there's certain patterns that he's seen, but like I think that also goes into his disabilities that do kind of like are inconsistent, because like he may imagine one thing, but it's just so much has changed around him and things are changing now. So there's not really a lot of consistency because he's seen so much, and to go off of a story, not to say that you shouldn't. It's just like. There may not be enough information as like Victor may have versus like Ethan's path, but I mean, hell, I could be wrong about the whole book situation too, so I don't know.
For these, do you think Sophia will reveal herself? I think Christy gonna find out. Her and her girlfriend, they gonna piece together who she really is, because if you see when it was in a diner and she was just looking at the pool, they was like clocking her. Like, so I think she's going to slip up somewhere, or he's going to slip up somewhere, and they're going to put 2 to 2 together. And I don't think it's going to be beneficial to nobody when they do find out, because I mean, he is in control right now.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I mean,
they can't read her right now. It's, her father passed or whatever, and they're like, is she okay? How is she dealing with things? They don't know just yet, but when they do find out, or Sarah could possibly find out some way somehow too.
That's what I've been thinking too. I've been thinking that Sarah because
somehow make a connection.
Yeah.
Between the voices and because the voices came back all of a sudden when she moved in.
Yeah.
Sarah could make that connection.
And that's the thing too. I was thinking that too, because nothing happened. Sarah was okay for the most part until like Sophia came in. So it's like she started getting those voices back in. So it's like that might be a signal to like Sarah should know, like, okay, well, since Sophia has been in this house for a while, maybe she'd be like, okay, something's not right, and she'll start piecing the clues together. But that's another big piece I'm worried about. I think Sarah's got a lot going on too.
I can see that happening because
I'm scared.
She has so much to say about, when the Matthews family got here, everything started turning upside down. I hope Sarah puts 2 and 2 together and says, well, wait a minute. I wasn't hearing voices again until you came back. Yeah. And now all of a sudden I'm falling down the stairs with a headache, and all of this stuff is happening. If Sarah doesn't, peep Sophie's game, I feel like Victor will. I feel like the man in yellow is going to get cocky. He's going to say something to Victor.
Yeah,
so Victor will put 2 and 2 together.
I said that last time. That Victor be a victim of, or her next victim rather.
Yeah,
because Victor knows too much.
I was like, wait a minute, RJ, leave this on for at least 15 seconds.
I mean, I don't think Tabitha wants to remember. I mean, I think the remember stage is for Jade. I mean, he's the one who needs to remember. Tabitha is on her own little quest with Ethan. Like I said, that's why I said she's in the corner. She's not really, reliable right now because she's on this quest with Ethan. Jade is the only one who needs to remember all these things. So I'm just gonna take Tabitha out for right now. I mean,
I can see that she's grieving. She's trying to be now she's a widow, and she's a single mom now, and she has Donna to lean on.
Who's about to die in a minute?
Don't.
I'm sorry.
If
but
she okay, I'm gonna
did.
say this right now. If she
Sorry.
dies, because I know and Jade too, but if she dies, I don't think I'm gonna go on with the show.
It's gonna be hard. It's
Yeah,
gonna
it's
be
going
real
to. It's
hard.
like when
It's
like
Glenn
when they,
died in
I
The
yeah,
Walking Dead.
it's like when they killed Quentin off on the Magicians. Like it was really hard for me to
Well,
go
that
with
was
that
that
story.
was
Yeah.
hard.
That was
But
it was
Donna,
really hard
she's
for
a
me to go on
side
with
character
that.
though.
Yeah,
I hated when they did that.
I did
Like,
too. It changed the whole vibe. Like I ain't like
You don't
it.
even want to watch it anymore. You're
Yeah,
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
it's
It
like
was
you
hard.
killed the main character and you wanted us to just adapt. Like,
right. Or the
Yeah.
most likable character too.
Yeah,
he
Yeah.
was
Is
the
she the
most
most
like.
likable
that was
character?
really hard.
You know
Yeah.
who I thought was the most
Mhm.
likable? We're getting off topic, but you know who I thought was the most likable character who I loved on The Magicians? The Indian guy. He was my
I
favorite.
hated
That was my
him.
that
No,
was my
I
guy.
hated
storyline number 2, Indian guy that became a dad. Remember, he had
Yeah, I
switched
remember.
storylines, well, dimension
Mhm.
storylines.
Yeah.
But after he had the baby with the girl.
Okay. So second Penny.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't like
Penny
first
number
Penny.
2.
Which
Penny number
actually
1 was
Yeah,
kind of,
yeah.
but
I
Penny
like
number
Penny.
2, his
Died?
whole attitude changed.
Yeah.
He died, right, and went to like the underworld and started.
Penny,
Something like
well, he got
Yeah.
lost in a dimension technically, and then somebody pulled him out of like a different storyline and brought him back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
But when he
came
came back,
but
he was
not the same
completely
Penny.
different. He was nice.
Yeah.
He wasn't rude no more.
Yeah, he changed for the better. The second Penny. But one more thing I want to bring up. So the whole we know the theme of reincarnation is really big and from. So everyone has a gift and things like that. I know when Elgin first came and he was having like visions or whatever of a terrible place. Do you guys think that Ethan could also be a prophet unknowingly, and that's why he's writing this story? Do you think that maybe there's something in him too from the town that kind of like is causing him to have this kind of like prophet kind of vibe to him? Because in
I
a sense
do.
it is.
I kind of do because like not the connection with blood with Tabitha, but I think it's because like how Tabitha has set up like her family and her
Mhm.
the situation that she's been in for a while is like a force that flows through within that family. So I think because being able to like sleep, Julie being able to sleepwalk and Ethan figuring out this whole story. So I think there's like a weird connection with all three of them. I feel like forget Jim, but everybody else like I do feel
Not
like
you, Jim.
Yeah, I don't care about Jim. But
You're not special.
Right.
I do feel like there is some kind of special force that is like pushing them towards like the objective even more. So I think that yes, I do think that Ethan has like a substantial amount of information that is going to be revealed eventually that he may not know about.
Yeah,
For sure.
I can see that.
So
Donna, I don't, man. If Donna,
I know.
if Donna goes, I will stop watching. I do not.
There are no.
Can I ask
Y'all
you
really
why,
love
though?
Donna that
Can I ask you
much?
why?
Yes.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
feel like
Likeable.
she keeps Boyd in check
She does.
when he needs it.
Yeah.
He gets a little, and she's like, all right, Boyd,
She's like, all right.
But they do that for each other though too. I like
Mhm.
that.
That's why I like their relationship, their dynamic so much because there's it's a real seesaw.
Somebody got to hold down the fort, that colony house.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
a
Me
club.
personally, if Boyd
Club
died, I can't
Colony
watch
House.
this. Can't watch the
Club
show
colony.
anymore. Boyd is like the pieces that keeps the show together. Without
Yeah.
Boyd, the show falls.
I don't
Yeah.
think so.
I
I think
so.
Boyd has served his purpose. I do think that sometimes with writing, there are main characters to where like it's like take Rick from The Walking Dead.
Okay.
Like it was time for him to go. He served his purpose. He
Well,
was, a big
didn't
part of the show. But that's what I love about writing is sometimes they can trick the audience and say, okay,
yeah.
it's time for this character to go. He's done what he needed to do. We don't need to drag it along. He is the leader, yes. But
Yes.
now it gives another character time to step up as well.
But they haven't
Boyd.
step up the way Boyd has. It's the same thing when Nina Dobrev left Vampire Diaries and they dropped
Yes.
Caroline to the
Mhm.
front when Bonnie was right there.
Yeah.
I will agree with that. They could have used Bonnie as a main character.
Poor
Yeah.
Bonnie,
That's
man.
true.
Ugh.
Yeah, Bonnie
We
should
could do a whole thing about that.
Yeah,
Bonnie got the short end of the stick in Vampire Diaries.
every season,
Yeah.
every season,
Yeah.
every
She
season.
was the most interesting.
She was, and but think about who in. Let's put Donna and Boyd, one or the other or both go. Who has been built up enough as a character to take their place? Kenny maybe could fill the shoes of Boyd, not the same,
No.
Mhm.
but he's his second.
But that's the thing. Nobody is. And that's what I love about it. That's what I love about it. I want to see chaos.
Yeah.
The show is too
Desiree, burn it to the ground.
From a writer's perspective, from an actor's
Yeah.
perspective, from a producer's perspective.
Yeah.
Throw something in there.
Because
Action.
Me
Not
personally,
the structure. You know, it's playing it too safe for me.
Yeah.
And that's the frustrating part.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Boring.
Yeah.
so when Boyd went into the woods, Donna would never do that. I mean, she's not going in the woods finding answers. Boyd did that for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Donna plays it safe. You know what I'm saying? She falls under pressure. You know, like she's not going to. For me, she's not going to do what's right for everybody.
Yeah.
Boyd has a lot of stress. He went in the woods. He was about to die. My brother was about to die to find answers.
I'm sorry, but hot take, he needs to. We need the show to, we need something because my God, every week we're just going to deal with Boyd walking back and forth, you know, getting frustrated, taking that dang jacket off, putting it back on.
I don't think Boyd should be on the chopping block for that. Like, again, I be saying this every week to y'all. I'm like, the bias is so crazy to me. Like, there's so many characters that could die. And, like, I don't care for Boyd's character in current day, but I don't want him to die because I see his need, right? There's a need for that. But I'm like,
it's
but
been,
no, I
that's
see what Desiree means, though.
I don't know.
Because
I do see what you mean, Desiree. Because killing off Ellis is not gonna do nothing but like make the Ellis haters who thinks he's born happy. Like,
and
it's
we
not
don't
gonna
need
drive
Ellis has fans.
Is the point.
So
exactly.
So here's the thing, though. So when I said something about Ellis dying, my whole thing with Ellis dying would just be another catalyst to kind of revitalize what Boyd has going on. Because if you just kill Boyd off, then I think you're scraping to try to find more cohesiveness in these other characters. I'm not saying you won't get it. I'm just saying that he's the tie that binds this show. Like, he's the face of the show. So if you give him something else to focus on, like this, I mean, he had the grief of his wife already, but now you got the grief of your son. Like, that's where I'm kind of thinking, well, maybe there's a point where he tries to groom him to be the person that takes over or be his right hand, and then something happens, and then now all of a sudden he's seeing it from a different perspective now. And I'm not saying he changes his mode of operation, but I am saying that now he has a different drive, and he's like, okay, so it can be up for everybody at this point. Because I don't think he's got to the point where he says, like, we're losing. Like, he said that.
Though, and that's that.
Well, he's saying that, but I think if he thinks that, then maybe he tries to now groom his son to be like his sort of replacement.
That's what.
But then he dies in the process.
Happened a while ago. Should have happened a while ago. I'm about to take these glasses.
Listen.
It should have happened a while ago. Otherwise, the show continues to drag with the same main character. Just like we got tired of Rick in The Walking Dead. It's very similar. This character has been layered enough throughout the seasons. There doesn't need to be any more layering. He has served his purpose. The show is going to be ending soon. I don't think it's necessary. Now, if he makes it, cool. I don't think it's necessary for him to make it, but it would make for a more interesting turn of events, is what I'm saying.
Let me ask you this. Would you be okay if they killed him like the second to last episode of the final season? Would that be okay if he went then?
Yeah.
Or prefer for it to happen like this season?
I would prefer it to happen this season strictly, because I think that still brings up a good point about, there has to be some kind of chaos within this show, because what we're doing is like it's the cycle of Boyd's repressed whatever he's going through, and he's kind of going through this. He's showing himself examples of like what he has done like over and over again, and it's kind of the same story, and it's kind of the same tone that he's at. Like, he gets sad and he tries to get up again. He gets sad, he tries to get up again. So it's like, I think that we are getting to that point where if he does die or whatever, then I wouldn't be surprised, because when I saw Boyd break down, I think in like the first episode of this new season, I kind of like, everyone has their breakdowns. Donna had a breakdown, everybody did, but
that is the Achilles heel.
Yeah,
exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah, and
What
that's
would you guys, let me ask y'all this then. Would y'all be okay with Boyd kind of taking a step back since let's be real, we've had the Parkinson's, we've had the wife's death, we've had Fatima's baby, we've had everything that could have happened to Boyd has happened to Boyd. Would you be
Yes.
okay with them shifting the narrative? He's still a main character, but
Mhm.
focusing on other stories and other plot devices. Would that suffice you guys as far
If
as
he
like
wasn't to die, absolutely, because again,
Okay.
it shifts the events. What if he had gotten some sort of weird bipolar sort of thing and he's off in the corner in the jail cell and everybody's wondering what the heck is happening with him? He's gone mad. Now somebody else has to step up. We need more interesting things about main characters because right now it's just repetitive with trying to be strong and then, being weak and then having to step up and getting everybody else's business. I'm getting bored with this character. And it's not that I don't
I
like
see what you're saying. Yeah.
you have to make sacrifices in good stories.
And I think that's what it is too, because not all shows, like even if you do have a main character, if you spend so much time with that person, it's like that cycle is going to continue. But it's also the fact that like he's already layered. We've seen every single layer of him, so I don't think we need to push any more narrative, especially like even like having some like redemption for his son or anything like that. I don't think we need that because that's kind of like going to that boring stage of like, well, this is another thing we've seen in season 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think that we do need to get to a point where something does have to happen. Yeah, to Boyd. If not, then because I mean, let's be honest. I want to see other like things going on outside of Boyd
I do.
and other stuff. Like that's my opinion because I think it gives the show and the characters more substance because like there's a lot going on with other people's lives too. It's like he's not the only one. So
for sure. But my thing is, once he dies, who's going to step up? Who's going to take his place? And everybody keeps saying Donna.
A turn of events.
But my thing is, to me, Donna character hasn't shown me enough to where she can take on the responsibility that Boyd has.
Doesn't have to be Donna.
To your point, AJ, you said this a little earlier. There are two different types of leaders. Donna is going to play it safe because Donna wants to live at the end of the day. Boyd, I'm not saying Boyd will sacrifice himself, but Donna didn't take her ass out to that settlement until she knew it was all clear. Until she knew it was safe. Boyd is the type to where like I don't know if it's safe, but we need it, so I'm gonna go.
Right.
Even with him seeking out the talismans, Boyd is the type that there are two that Donna keeps order. Boyd goes to try and solve and protect and things like that. So they're two different leadership styles, and I think one cannot replace the other. But if you notice, when Donna left for the settlement, she was going over the checklist of what to do. So I feel like they are semi-grooming different people to kind of like be their second, but I don't think Kenny's ready to be Boyd, nor is Kenny ready to be Donna.
And that's where the writing for me falls. This stuff should have been built up from the beginning. That's how. I don't know.
No, I think to your point because like I think there is not going to be. So let's say a Boyd does die. I don't think there's going to necessarily be a leader specifically because I think everyone's going to do their own thing. However, I think that if someone does find a clue, they'll talk about it, but not in a way to where it's like this is what we need to do. It's like everyone's going to go back to doing their own thing, which will create more chaos, as Des mentioned, and it's going to like design them in a whole different way. And we'll see different sides of those characters do different things that we've never seen them before in the earlier seasons, which will be more of an interesting concept for the show.
Yeah, Boyd's not interesting anymore to me. I know all that I need to know about him.
Now, I will say this: one of them dying is going to cause what Shane is talking about, a colony house massacre. I feel like we're overdue for one. It's been a while.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
it's been a while.
I don't think it will be because of that golem. I think it's going to play a part of a lot of things. That golem is going to play a part of something big.
Yeah.
So
I don't think it's going to be another colony house massacre.
I was gonna say, but if they have another massacre, they're gonna add some more damn characters.
Jared,
if that happens, I might be done. I might not.
Yeah.
I might not do it.
Gerald, tell me why.
I'm telling you, if they kill, let's say for grins and giggles, they kill off like 8 or 9 people. If you bring 8 or 9 more people in, I'm gonna be like, okay, bro, I can't do this because now it's turning into Lost. Because
that's what
if they do that, if they add a bunch more. They can't add more than like for me. They won't be able to add more than 4 characters.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, Gerald, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Is like you don't need in the next season. There's like a massacre or something like that. You don't.
Okay, I'll go with 5 because the season 5's coming. But if they add more than 5, I'm out. I might be like, hey man,
I don't think there's enough time to with the rest of the season, because we're only getting 10 episodes. I don't know how many are coming in 5, but there's not enough time to give us new characters and give them a place in the hierarchy. You know?
Yeah, there's no more room.
Yeah, there's no more room. Now,
right,
what
so
I'm
they have a massacre though.
Shows like this and Lost is it does make for like even Walking Dead, when you have such a large main cast and you have almost an unlimited amount of background characters, you can still have that massacre, you can still have that mass death or mass loss rather, without sacrificing the actual like main cast. So it can be done. I just don't want to be introduced to any new characters. Yeah, bring them.
They just have to be background from then on.
Yeah.
They'll only have to be background because if you're trying to now introduce this person and what did they do in the real world, then you got to re-explain all this to them and stuff.
Exactly.
You've lost me because
Sophie.
Something has to happen to a main character.
Yeah.
If we're not introducing, the new characters because another character. Okay, cool, but we need a shift. To make it more interesting. It's gonna suck, like if Jade died or any of our favorites, it's gonna suck, but it's going to be necessary in order for us to want to continue on with this.
And honestly, I think Acosta had to be the last person to come through that place to be like, okay, this is the last person that we need to explain it to because where she comes from is also like a place of like structure where she has to like be right and stuff, and like because she's in that uniform, she's still in that mindset of being a cop. So I think if you bring in anybody else past that, it's just going to be another Randall, it's going to be another Julie, it's going to be another this that. So I think that having her like a very strict person allows the form of her to keep pushing the show, because she's another one who can put Boyd in check or put things in check and be interesting. But it's like Gerald said, which I completely agree with, you don't need to bring in like 5 more people, you kill off 8 or whatever, because is that really necessary? Because they're going to end up in the background.
But I do think that because they brought up the number 47 before, right?
Yeah.
And so I think I said this before the bus pulled in, they had a bunch of people before that loser opened the window, thought he was going to get some monster cat.
Right.
So before that happened, there had to be a set number of people in the town. I feel like the reason no one's coming into town yet is because they haven't lost anybody just yet.
Well, they went over though.
But how many people showed up? Really, 1, because monsters don't count. Remember, so Jim dies, and then the preacher comes. So I feel like there has to be a certain amount of people in that town at all times. So unless we lose anybody, I don't think we're getting anybody new.
That makes sense.
And the funny thing about that was, when that happened. The man in yellow, when he morphed or whatever, he did what he did. Who's to say that he hasn't injected himself throughout the story, just to see what's actually happening? Just through different pockets of time. Because if he's continuously been, like surveying and paying attention to this and seeing that. Like, who's to say this isn't just a new iteration of him now? Yeah. And now he's like purposely playing chess when he knows what's gonna happen, what's about to start happening. Because I mean, obviously the characters don't know what's going on, and he's now doing that. So I think funny enough, the preacher like didn't even really physically make it into the town though. I mean, he showed up. But he didn't even physically make it in.
He stole the tree. Yeah. Well, he was in there. He died in the town. So
that's true.
Yeah. So wait, then that means we'll do one more. If he died, if he's supposed to be Jim's replacement for the number, we need one more. So maybe we are getting a new character at the end of the season or next.
Or we just get Jim back.
No,
absolutely not.
We got 2 versions of Jim.
That's what it's looking.
I don't have the
Jim and Ghost Jim. And now you got Ghost AJ.
Now you're going.
Ghost AJ you
can go with Jim.
Those I was annoyed by that because I'm like, we haven't even had a chance to miss them yet.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying too. It's
They
like
killed the character and then brought him back as a ghost immediately. I was like, okay,
I don't
that's
think
what we do.
Acosta becomes the. I don't. She's
I don't think so.
Enough.
I think that
enough, man.
She being that mindset she has of being a cop, she's too straight. She's not allowing herself to like go in that gray area. I think she's kind of black and white in some ways.
Yeah.
Understandably, because from the circumstances that have been put into like what she has seen, but also it's just like being in that role as a cop, you don't necessarily like fit into that gray area all the time. You just see things as one or the other.
Yeah.
And I think that's why she can't like become that dark horse leader at all. I don't think she'll get the respect either, honestly.
Yeah.
No, I think either
more
it's
people
Kenny
need
or
to die
Jade.
in Fromville. I do like the background actors and stuff. I think something that the man in yellow needs to get even more strategic with his game, have more people die in Fromville to where it narrows it down to the few, and then maybe one or two people discover their way out while others don't make it. Like, I just need this to end in an interesting way because the way this is dragged on, I don't.
It's dragging too long.
Well, didn't the man in yellow say like last episode or before that he said something about like this is my favorite part or something like that?
Yeah.
Well, come on, let's get to it. What?
Yeah. Damn, they want blood.
But to be
okay, we got Sarah Jr. over here, ready for bodies to hit the floor.
And I don't know if y'all heard. I don't know if y'all heard Gerald a while ago. He said, like, it feels like, even though it has been like, 3 weeks, a month, like Jade mentioned, but it's felt like a decade. And Gerald mentioned that because it's really felt like a long time. Like, why, like this has all happened. It's like, something has had to happen within the span because it's like we're going every day, every night without something happening, and we don't see stuff happen at night as much anymore because that's when usually stuff happens. And I want to kind of get back to that.
That's what I'm saying. Every night something needs to happen to the people in Fromville. It doesn't have to be the main characters. It could just be the side characters to where, new discoveries would have been made in the past episodes. But now it's just too late for new discoveries at this point.
But you know what, too? Out of 47 people, you mean to tell me only like 5 are trying to figure it out? I wanted like there was an episode of Walking Dead where we kind of got to see what the side characters were doing. And people didn't like that episode, but I liked it. I would really rock with an episode where we got to get to see Clara just like, you know what? Let me see if I can, let me see what's in here,
But you got to think about it. People form those emotional attachments to those main characters that they see all the time. So when you get that side, it takes me back to an episode. This is going to be a throwback, but an episode of Breaking Bad, The Fly.
Oh, that was
so many people hated that episode. But the reason I like that episode because it literally gave you a character study of Walt and Jesse.
Okay.
In one literal episode, it gave you a whole breakdown of who they were as characters. And people were like, that was stupid, though. You did this whole thing trying to kill a fly and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, y'all missed the point.
Yeah.
And so I think if they chose to do that, I'd be on board.
Yeah.
They would have to give me more than just a bunch of exposition, though. That's the only thing I fear with trying to do something like that. And I think this show is a lot more contained right now. And so with how many of I can't remember how many episodes we got left.
10.
We got like what?
4, I think. 4 or 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got 6. They probably need to start really putting their foot on the gas a little bit because you need to make these decisions about these characters as we head towards season 5. Because how they start to how the dominoes kind of fall. We need to make sure we're able to pick up these pieces ourselves without you. Because if y'all just got to keep telling me, I'm going to lose interest in that. I mean, Desiree's already on her wit's end.
No, you're totally right, Gerald. I do get what you're saying because I had this conversation with Taman. He's been on the show a couple of times from Scream Kings, and like I'm the type to where like I can, pull up my little notebook and I can write down little intricacies. But for like the average viewer who just wants to, wants a good show, you kind of want something to be a little bit eventful. And so after talking to y'all, I can kind of see why people are a little bit frustrated with it, because at some point, like you said, where's the gas? We've got enough exposition. They've mentioned Lake of Tears enough. You don't have to explain what you think Lake of Tears is. We know Ethan's a story writer. Like at this point, you're just repeating. It's almost becoming a clip show at some point.
You know what it is? It's a fan. It becomes a fan theory show, and that's it.
Yeah.
And the issue with a fan theory show is we got 6 people on here. We got all different opinions about the direction the show needs to go or the way we feel about it. And so think about the umpteenth amount of people. If I watch 5 or 10 different reviews or breakdowns, I'm hearing 5 or 10 different perspectives, and I'm also hearing 5 or 10 different theories about the significance of certain things that may mean absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of it all.
Exactly. And that's
so I'm like, hey, I'm fine with it. Like I said, at this point, I said I'll just watch.
Yeah, same.
But if you start BSing me, I'm gonna call you on it, and I'm gonna just be like, all right, bet I won't worry about it anymore.
Notice how I don't even do deep. Like I used to really be into
we all used to, RJ.
Yeah.
No,
we're just waiting now. I think what is we're just waiting for the conclusion. We've been
fanning another shoe to drop.
Yeah, that's what it. We're for the other shoe to drop.
In Desiree's mind, she needs Boyd to drop.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I know exactly what I would have done with this. It's a really good concept. I just feel like they don't know where to go with it.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I do have to say about shows in general, just overall, is like one thing I don't like. I get like the first episode, you have to drop people in the first 10 minutes. That's cool, but like I feel like a lot of shows, not every single show does this, but you lose the excitement. I think excitement is one of the most important things in the show, and that excitement falls into momentum. This show has been like gaining a lot of momentum, but it's slowly like declining every season because you just say the same things over and over again. Because like it seems like what this show has done, I've never really seen a show like this besides Lost, of course. The teasing is like you're teasing us, but you're not like no one's saying anything in this show. Like Tabitha has not said a lot of stuff still, which is kind of frustrating, and it makes us lose interest as an audience because like you can easily say something and push the show forward with answers, but instead the teasing is kind of getting a little out of control in some ways.
Yeah.
No, I agree exactly. I understand exactly what y'all saying. Which season had the most excitement to me?
The first one.
Ooh.
The first. I got to be the first of me.
Nah, I gotta say 3.
Really?
3 they got there after the people on the bus really settled. 3 because T and Chen died.
It was very interesting.
Yeah. 3 we got a little bit more the pregnancy, the smiley. Yeah, 3 was hitting to me.
Oh,
maybe
I like.
But yeah, that's a good question though. I feel like season 1 also had some good moments. I mean, that was kind of, I guess that was because of the beginning.
Yeah.
But and there was like, it was like so fresh and so new. But at the same time, I would say I have to say season 3 probably because that's where like stuff mostly popped off. Maybe.
Yeah. 2. The bus showed up in 2, right?
I think it was like the middle of Randall.
Yeah, when the candles show up.
I think it was like 2 or 3.
He came in season 2, but I think it was like in the middle of season 2, like the 5th, 6th episode or something like that.
Yeah, because
I don't
know. No, wait. Or did the bus come at the end of season 1?
No, I think it was. Boy, something happened.
Okay, it says it arrived season 2, episode 1.
Oh, okay.
So it just show at the end of. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Strangers in the Stream.
So, but that's what I'm saying. Like you gotta don't lose momentum. And I hate it when shows do this sometimes because like that can take the audience out of it. I'm sure AJ, you've watched plenty of shows to know that. It's like keep the excitement because that's one thing it's hard to do in shows is keep the excitement. We're not saying everything like has to be like crazy, like pop off all the time. But
because I've watched slow-paced shows like The Crown and stuff, and even though that's not fantasy, I still kept up with it. It was still interesting. Is the difference?
Like Midnight Mass did a good job. Midnight Mass did a good job.
Oh, Midnight Mass.
Mystery. I love Midnight Mass.
Man.
I think it's a payoff scheme for me for From, because everybody loves the TV series. So I think it's just a money
let's
thing,
stretch it out.
money grab. Yeah.
3 and 4
You know what I'm
definitely
saying?
been one episode.
Well, I'm about to tap out. There's always stretching to do.
I am
No,
too.
we got one more season, guys.
I mean,
One more. Hang in there. One more.
I mean, for me, I don't think we're not gonna get no answer still with this season. I mean, I think they still gonna play with our emotions, at the end of season 4. But that's just me personally.
Yes
Yeah.
and no, Shane.
Yeah, it was shady.
It was a scary show.
Yeah, I'd say it was.
But see, what they did differently with that is like maybe like the first 4 episodes, like it was a slow grind, like you got to know the characters, but then you got right into the action. Like
Right.
That's how you do it with this show. Again, like it's started season 1 and then now we're here, like and we have the same answers that we're getting over.
Now I gotta do a rewatch, RJ. Thank you.
I rewatch that every once in a while. I love Midnight Mass. Like
I do it
was
around Halloween, but I
show.
might make an exception.
Yeah,
It's a great
Midnight Mass
show.
is an amazing show.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm sad it was a limited series, but I get it.
Me too. I was too. I wanted more.
Yeah.
Right.
Same with Clickbait. The Clickbait is like a mystery show too. It reminds me of All Her Fault, but it was Clickbait was phenomenal as well. So if y'all got the time to go watch Clickbait too.
You know what was good was Black Summer. I'm kind of
I know.
Yeah, but it doesn't have an ending. Like that's what
I know. That's
They
right.
canceled it.
They canceled it once again. Yeah, but I love Black Summer too.
Yeah.
But like you said, there's a lot of shows that are mysterious and that do a better job of pacing. I do, after talking with you guys, I'm gonna text Taman when I get off this live and I'm gonna say, yeah, you know what? I kind of see what you're saying. Like there is a pacing. I don't want to say issue. There's a pacing.
The timeline. There's an issue with the timeline.
Yeah, there's an issue with and it's. I totally get it. Clickbait is a show about a guy that gets kidnapped by somebody and there's a countdown to when they're gonna murder him. But they're trying to figure out who's got him. And I'm not gonna say nothing, but they go through everybody in this family. Like it's sort of like with Weapons when they did like a day in the life of everybody leading up to it, and each person has motive or reason or opportunity to have been set this man up to have him murdered or whatever. And so they go through the days of it, just kind of like leading down to when they're trying to rescue him, whatever. It's really good.
Is
really
that one
good.
season?
Yeah, it's one season. It's a limited series.
Oh,
It has a conclusion.
I agree.
Season 7 definitely ran a little bit too long for that was.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
True
but
Blood was my stuff.
So the one thing though I say about True Blood though is they were able to take the lore of that and turn it on its ear and then create other avenues as the show progressed. They had a ton of characters too, but it didn't get super duper far-fetched until they got really close to the end. Like, because everything still had really good ties throughout. I mean, and they had really great characters.
Because
they introduced you to some really good actors. Like that came out they were birthed in that show.
Absolutely,
really good actors, you know, and so
they have really solid world building too. I think that's
for sure.
Yeah.
True Blood was really slept on for real.
It was. It was definitely one of the better shows.
I mean, it had a really good fandom, but of course, this was like before the internet became what the internet was. So, but it was very, very good. I still think it's hilarious. My wife, I don't think she survived the first 20 minutes. Too much blood. I warned her before she tried it. I was like, "You're not gonna be able to do it." She's like, "I'm fine. I'll be fine." She was like, "Oh my god, I can't do this." I was like, "Yeah."
It was good for its time.
Yeah. Going back and watching it, I'm like, "Oh, I should." Even though I was like grown, I was like, I don't think I was grown enough for that show though.
No.
I was
world building was pretty intense the way
maybe
they
we
did
need to
it.
do that. Maybe we need to go do like a countdown or like a ranking of like all of our supernatural shows. We're actually gonna rank the From characters too. I know we talked about it in the group chat. So probably after the season, just kind of like a fun, real casual live, we're gonna get all the characters on From. We're gonna rank them A through or S through F or whatever, and just kind of debate on who is like the best From characters. So y'all tune in for that too. But if y'all are also interested, I would love to do like we get all of our favorite fantasy and sci-fi shows in the list.
Yeah.
And we'll just like rank the shows from top to bottom. I want
to hear all the shows that I watch. I'll be like, "What the hell is that?"
Yeah, what is that?
What is
I'll
Star
fuck-
Trek gonna be on the list?
No, ugh,
Oh.
hated that show.
He's like,
Confession, I'm terrified of
But
Star
they
Trek.
love Star
I hated
Trek.
that show.
I'm
My
terrified of it.
grandmother and my mom used
He's
to watch. I
funny.
hated that show. I
Yeah.
hated it.
It makes me so uneasy. It's like live action Bob's Burgers to me. Like the way it looks, I can't watch it. I've never seen an episode of Bob's Burgers. I don't even watch the clips.
I love
show's-
Bob's Burgers. I
I
love
can't
Bob's
watch
Burgers,
it. I don't know
man.
why.
That show
It
was
makes me
hilarious.
nauseous.
I loved it.
Yeah, that show's funny as hell.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure it is. Everybody says it's a hoop, but I
I
don't even
believe
know.
it. I just can't sit and watch it. I don't
Well,
know.
it's really so crazy. It's like, to me, it's more grounded than like The Simpsons. It's way more grounded, like, because it's real world things happening in
I
that
get
show.
the vibe,
So
yeah.
yeah,
and it's a self-contained little community, and it's just
comedy's funny.
Yeah. But it's real comedy. It's not a bunch of over the top,
Family Guy jokes.
no, it's not that. It's definitely not Family Guy and
No,
that
no.
freaking American Dad, all that crap.
Whoa,
I
whoa,
still
whoa!
love
We're
South
not
Park.
gonna come for
What's
American Dad.
Okay, I admit I used to watch American.
I
No, I
love
watched
American
it. I
Dad.
watched it,
I
but what I'm
love-
saying is it's not the same. Like, that humor, American Dad humor and Family Guy humor, obviously
Oh yeah,
same creators,
Yeah.
Similar
so
tone, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, but no, Bob's Burgers just has it's more
It's more
grounded.
sarcasm comedy than like
Yeah.
which
Shock.
you
It's
know
not
I
shock
love
comedy.
sarcasm. It's my
Yeah.
favorite type of comedy, but for some
Yeah.
reason I just cannot.
yeah,
Nobody
no,
has a better
know what's
soundtrack than American Dad. I'm just letting y'all know.
I mean,
The
American
songs
Dad
that
is just
American
there
Dad
for-
does.
for
I mean,
Soundtrack.
No, American Dad has some funny moments, especially Roger.
Roger
Roger.
carries that show. Yeah, I love American Dad. So, but
Yeah.
speaking of like this, you said something earlier before we got here about bottle. We have to realize too, this show is a bottle show. Like they don't have access to the entire world, and I think that also could be a dilemma with the pacing and with the ability to kind of branch out and do other things because they are trapped in the town. I feel like maybe if they kind of flesh out instead of fleshing out the characters, maybe they should have spent more time fleshing out the town. We still don't know what's going on in the settlement. We don't know about those dolls. And I'm pretty sure we'll get, more questions as time goes on, but there's so much that they don't know about the town, and we're so busy trying to explore characters. So hopefully, going forward, we'll get a little bit more fleshed out this town and the lore and stuff like lore, because we just brought up True Blood. The world building and the lore was so strong in that it kept the audience captivated. And I don't think we know enough about the lore to be tied in the way they want us to be tied in. I think that's what Des is getting at with like the whole boy thing. It just shakes something up. So I get what everybody's saying. But overall, before we get out of here, we all know how we felt about episode 3, but let's give a combined ranking of 3 and 4. I gotta say 6.5. It wasn't eventful either episode, but together they weren't a bad episode if you look at it as one. In my opinion. And y'all drop in the comments, let us know 1 through 10.
For me, it's a 6 because I agree with you, RJ. I think the exploration in shows is so important, especially if you're staying in one spot. And that's what it's felt like for a long time throughout these whole seasons. And to make it more interesting, I think that you can only do so much with this show, but also you can do more. But overall, with these 2 episodes, I had to give it a 6.
I'll give it a 6. I'm not even interested in the Lake of Tears. That's just how much I'm kind of out of it.
Body was.
Nothing was,
Yeah, nothing's hitting anymore.
nothing surprises me. Yeah.
Everything's just black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About 6.5. I would say 6.5. Yeah. I don't have anything else to add to it. It's 6.5.
Yeah, solid. Yeah.
I got to give it a 6. I mean, episode 3 was just boring. Episode 4 kind of pushed the needle a little bit. It got interesting like towards the end.
Yeah.
So I definitely got to give it a 6. I'm trying to see what's gonna happen next with all those dead bodies that was in that lake.
Yeah, I agree with you, AJ.
Yeah.
Sarah put them bodies there.
Yeah.
Definitely need to own the box.
Or Victor, you never know.
For me, I would give it an 8. I feel like
Whoa.
MGM is doing a phenomenal job with building up the show and and setting.
Y'all hear that, MGM?
Yeah, I
You
think
watch
MGM is
it.
doing a phenomenal job of building the show and setting like those Easter eggs. That's gonna
Company
add up
woman.
No more
to
Easter.
I'm sorry they accidentally sent your check here. I'll make sure to get it forwarded to you because okay.
Now that
I can't like why does it have not to be honest? I'm being honest. I thought both of them combined was
that's all
like
right.
less
We
than
all are.
Hey, that's okay. That's your
No,
opinion.
it makes sense.
Really fine.
I thought it was
You know we
it.
like
That's
giving you a hard time, Dr.
Yeah.
Pepper.
You know we love you.
Mhm.
Okay. Fair enough, Miss Company Woman. All right. But yeah,
I would like to thank
we,
MGM Plus for
Oh,
And Amazon Prime for
oh.
then you got so much.
Yeah, that's what I was
It better
talking
not-
about too.
it better
I
not
was
be
gonna say I hope it
Oh,
doesn't
man.
be
Or
somebody
no.
screaming.
What if, I just realized, what if the last scene is Ethan at like a bookshop?
I was gonna say something.
I'm gonna
I
be pissed.
A copy
I'm
and then
of
turn into
Frog.
some like never-ending story ending.
I'm
Right.
gonna be at
And then
work.
we'll never get that time back. All this time,
All these years and all this time, so I will be mad as hell.
If it's a dream,
Oh,
For
that
y'all,
would
it's
be
4 years.
you know
For
what?
them, it's gonna be like 10 minutes.
man.
Right.
Do
I
not
would be
pull a
sad.
Krampus. I don't know if y'all seen Krampus, but do not pull a Krampus.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
God. Yeah. Don't
No,
do
do not do that.
that. Yeah. No.
Oh,
But yeah, y'all, I thoroughly enjoyed our discussion on episodes 3 and 4. I wish we got a little bit more to talk about, but you know, that's the nature of the beast. Sometimes it is what it is, but we did a good job filling out, and I hope you guys enjoyed sitting and chatting with us. We'll be here same time, same place next week. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, bring a friend next time. We love it when we have people to kind of feed off on. We really enjoyed the chat tonight. That being said, we'll see you next time. Later.